The heart of a school, much like the conductor of a symphony, relies on a leader who can orchestrate diverse perspectives into a cohesive whole through strategic decision making. This presentation will explore the crucial link between these two concepts, decision making and leadership, and will delve into how decisions are made within the complex ecosystem of the school and how can leadership can influence this process. I am Ria-Flor V. Valdos, your discussant for the topic Decision Making as an Organizational Process, cum leadership in the subject Educ 603, Organizational Behavior Analysis. Before that, may I present to you the questions that we will be discussing after the report. Share one of the experiences as a leader or teacher where your decision making skills were put to a challenge. What factors do you consider when making a decision? What leadership style did you apply? And which among the 21 indispensable qualities of a leader did you learn or improve? To start, Lunenburg once said that a great deal of decision making in school organizations is achieved through committees, teams, task forces, and other types of groups. Hence, we must know how decision making is done in an organization. Let's have our first topic, decision making as an organizational process. A number of authors have defined decision making. First, Celarn 2010 Ethical Decision Making by Leaders requires understanding the culture and wielding power responsibly. Meanwhile, ACDEAR 2011 said that decision making, a crucial process at all levels, involves problem solving and required skilled members for fast paced environments. Decision making is an integral organization process that impacts every level, including individual, group, and organization. It is often associated with problem solving and group processes in the organizational structure. We also have Panpati and Takale 2019, who said that decision making is the core management process of choosing among alternatives through defined steps, while Kozol, Donolda, and Bayer 2021, decision making influenced by economic and organizational factors is critical for organizational success. In other words, we could say that decision making process is simply a process of identifying an existing problem, seeking out the best available solution, and choosing the one that best satisfies the decision makers, which is the school heads and the personnel involved. The goal can be to achieve optimal, satisfactory, maximum, or maximin results. How do we come up with a decision? Lunenburg suggested the rational model of decision making, which is composed of 6 steps. First is identifying the problem, second, generating alternatives, third, evaluating the alternatives, fourth, choosing the alternatives, fifth, implementing the decisions, and lastly, evaluating decision effectiveness, which can be recycled, and if something goes wrong, we can go back to the first step. First, this involves understanding what goals the school is trying to achieve and figuring out where things are going wrong. This is the first step, which is identifying the problem. The second step, which is generating alternatives, talks about once the problem is identified, the administrator or the school head needs to brainstorm solutions that could fix it. It could be with the personnel involved, the teachers, and other faculty members. Third one is evaluating alternatives. Each potential solution should be assessed for feasibility. Can it be done? Is it feasible? Is it possible? Satisfaction, which is would it fix the problem? Is this the best solution? And impact. How will it affect the people involved? Will it satisfy the people? Will it greatly help them? And those are the things that has to be considered. Next one is choosing an alternative. In this step, The administrator will select the best option based on the evaluation from step 3. The fifth one is implementing the decision. This involves clearly communicating the decision, getting people on board, allocating resources, setting timelines, and assigning responsibilities. Sixth and the last step is evaluating the decision's effectiveness. The school head or administrator needs to see if the chosen solution is actually working and make adjustments if necessary. Through a logical and objective process, individuals can make the best possible decision to achieve their goals. In essence, the rational model emphasizes a well systematic and well informed approach to reach the most optimal decision for the organization. Now, the rational model best aligned with this definition of decision making by Mulyoni, Purba, Hadian, and Sam Suri 2021. They said that decision making is a process of identifying an existing problem, seeking out the best possible solution, and choosing the one that best satisfies the decision makers. The goal can achieve optimal, satisfactory, maximum, or maximin results. Now let's proceed to the individual factors in decision making. Number one are the rational factors, which are considered in making a decision, such as the quantitative factors like the price, the time, the predictions. Number two are the psychological factors, which are the human psychological factors in participation in decision making, such as abilities, experiences, perceptions, values, goals, and roles, which are important factors in decision making. The third one are the social factors. These are the agreement of other people, especially those who influence determinants, is an important issue. Taking these issues into account reduces the resistance of others to the decision. Lastly, cultural factors. The organization also has organizational culture, which is a determining factor that must be considered. These cultures influence the decision making taken by the individuals or organizations in the form of socially accepted values, trends, and general values. Next point to discuss is group decision making. Group decision making, also called collaborative or collective decision making, involves a group coming together to choose from available options. Just like all the other concepts, it has its pros and cons. Let's start with the advantages. The advantages of decision making is one, greater sum total of knowledge groups bring together the knowledge and experiences of multiple people, potentially leading to a more comprehensive understanding of the issue and wider range of solutions considered. Number two is greater number of approaches to a problem. Each group member has their own approach to solving problems. Group discussions allow for exploring the problems from various angles, potentially leading to a more creative and effective solutions. Third is greater number of alternatives. By brainstorming and combining ideas, groups can generate a wider variety of options for consideration, increasing the chances of finding the best solution. Fourth is increased acceptance of a decision. People are more likely to support and implement decisions they help make, leading to a smoother execution. So, those are the advantages. Now we have the disadvantages of group decision making. Social pressure toward conformity. People might avoid voicing concerns or opposing ideas for fear of being seen as disruptive, potentially leading to overlooking important information or perspectives. Number two is individual domination. Strong personalities or those with higher status can take over the discussion, preventing others from fully participating and contributing their unique ideas. This can lead to a less comprehensive decision. Number three is conflicting secondary goals. Members might have personal agendas or departmental interests that cloud their judgment and hinder them from focusing on the best overall decision for the group's objective. Number four is undesirable compromises. In reaching consensus or decisions, groups may settle for solutions that don't fully address the issue or represent a watered down version that satisfies no one completely. Number five is ambiguous responsibility. Shared responsibility for decisions can make it difficult to pinpoint who's accountable for the outcome. This can also lead to a riskier decisions as individuals or people might feel less responsible for the consequences. Lastly is time. Group decision making can really be time consuming compared to individual decisions. Forming a group, scheduling meetings, and reaching consensus all takes time and resources. So, those are the disadvantages of group decision making. But it has purposes as well. So, why is decision making important in an organization? Number one, creating optimal results. This is a strategy in selecting options among several identified alternatives. The effectiveness of this strategy depends on how important the problem, the time limit available, the availability of resources, whether there are other alternative costs, and the psychological state of the decision maker. Next is creating satisfactory results. This strategy is carried out by considering the first satisfactory alternative rather than the best one. The word satisfying comes from two words, namely satisfying and sufficient. When these two words coexist, decision making can be considered as the best choice. Number three is making maximax results. This action is to do the maximizing of the maximum state. In this strategy, evaluation is carried out from several alternatives by selecting the maximum profit as the best option. However, for number four, making maximin results, this action is to do the maximization of the minimal state. Strategy is a pessimistic strategic action because it considers the worst possible outcome of all the alternatives and chooses the highest minimum. This type of strategy is used when failure is expensive and intolerable. So, how does decision making help an organization? Number one, implementing managerial functions. Many managerial functions, such as planning, organizing, controlling, staffing, etc., it cannot be managed and directed properly. Number two, establish without decision making. Any function cannot be performed, it should be taken up by all staff. Number three, evaluating managerial performance. If it is true, it means that the workforce is working efficiently and correctly. Four, assist in making plans and policies. Number five, assist in selecting the best outcome from several alternatives by evaluating their advantages and disadvantages. In a nutshell, we could say that decision making in the organization is helpful to achieve success of the organization's operations. So, ultimately, effective decision making is essential for steering the organization towards success. We could say that decision making is crucial for organizations because it guides them towards achieving their goals. It allows them to choose the best course of action considering both potential benefits and risk. Now we have the second topic. As we are done with decision making as an organizational process, let's proceed with leadership. Bernice once said, never have so many labored so long to say so little, and leadership is the most studied and least understood topic of any in the social sciences. This means that leadership is a complex phenomenon that is challenging to pin down. There may be an abundance of theories and framework, but a clear and universally accepted definition or set of principles for effective leadership remains elusive. Despite that, many authors still do define leadership based on their own understanding and experiences. In fact, Northouse said leadership refers to the process of influencing and guiding others towards the achievement of a common goal or vision. Now, the person in charge of the leadership position is the leader, but it is more than just a position. Next, let's discuss who is a leader. According to Conger 1992, leaders are individuals who establish direction for a working group of individuals and who gain commitment from this group of members to establish direction and who then motivate members to achieve the direction's outcomes. Since a leader leads a group of people working together, we have to discuss organizational leadership. Organizational leadership patterns require the following attributes: communication skills, vision, and good work ethics. Let's start with communication skills. It is the ability for one to be able to talk to group of people or to individual calmly and clearly. To practice active listening is incredibly important. Next is having vision. Organizational leaders must see the future picture. Leaders need vision to set a direction and make unbiased decisions for the organization's benefit even when facing challenges. Lastly, good work ethics. Leaders need to have good work ethics in order to achieve what they think is good without compromising the values that they have for the organization. So we could say that organizational leadership is not about a single person's authority or enforcing others. It is simply an ongoing process of collaboration, fostering growth, and guiding strategic change through effective management practices. Our next question to ponder is, what makes someone the best leader? Well, there are many leadership styles one can adapt to become the best leader. So let's tackle the leadership styles Bualia 2023 describe one by one. Transformational leadership. It is characterized by being visionary, inspirational, motivational, empowering, and being big picture thinkers. Their strength lies on creating a passionate and dedicated team, fostering innovation, and driving high performance. However, their weaknesses can be seen as unrealistic or overwhelming, overly reliant on the leader's charisma, and the ideal situations for a transformational leader is when a clear vision and direction are needed to navigate, change, or achieve ambitious goals. Next is transactional leaders. Transactional leaders are characterized by being organized, results oriented, clear communicators, focus on rewards and punishments. Their strengths provides a stable and predictable work environment, efficient in achieving short-term goals. Their weaknesses, they can stifle or hinder creativity, leading to a transactional relationship with followers. Then demotivation if rewards are unclear. The ideal situations for them, well-defined tasks with clear goals, established organizations needing efficiency. Next, for autocratic leaders, they are characterized by being decisive, strong willed, directive, and controlling. Their strength makes quick decisions, effective in crisis situations, and maintains clear focus on goals. Their weaknesses, they can also stifle or hinder creativity and innovation, discourages initiative, can lead to low morale and employee dissatisfaction. Ideally, they are best in emergency situations, highly specialized tasks requiring strict adherence to procedures. Next is the laissez-faire leaders, who are trusting, delegative, hands-off approach, and minimal supervision. Their strength is to foster autonomy and creativity, empower skilled and experienced teams. But their weaknesses, they can lead to disorganization, lack of direction, missed deadlines, and unfulfilled potential. Ideally, they are best with high skilled and experienced teams working on independent projects. Next is the charismatic leader, who has magnetic personality. He is inspirational, persuasive, has strong communication skills, and is a visionary. His strength is he can create a strong emotional connection with followers, given that he is charismatic, and he motivates through personal appeal. His weakness relies heavily on leaders' personality, susceptible to manipulation, and potential for cult-like followings. They are ideal for needing to rally support for a new vision or navigate a crisis. Next is a situational leader. He is characterized by being adaptable, flexible, can assess follower needs, can adjust leadership style accordingly. He is effective in various situations. He caters to individual needs and fosters development. His weakness requires strong leadership skills and self awareness, can be challenging to constantly adapt. Ideally, they are best in dynamic environments, teams with varying levels of experience and skills. Next is servant leaders. Servant leaders are humble, service oriented, empathetic, empowering, and fosters collaboration. Their strength, they can create a strong sense of community and loyalty. They can promote growth and development. However, they can be time consuming and may struggle with making tough decisions. Ideally, they are best when building a strong team culture, fostering long term growth and development. Next one is the pace setting leader. A pace setting leader has high standard. Results oriented, he is decisive and leads by example. His strengths drives performance, achieves ambitious goals, and sets a clear decisions. However, they can lead to burnout, resentment if standards are unrealistic, and discourages creativity. Ideal situations for pace setting leaders are short term projects requiring high performance, working with highly motivated teams. Last but not the least is a democratic leader, characterized by being a shared decision maker. He empowered teams, he has trust and respect. His strengths, he can engage in creative teams and has strong team spirit. However, his weakness is he has slow decision making skills and may struggle in crisis. He is ideal for innovation, expert teams, building buy in, and collaborative environment. Now, why don't you think for a while? What do you think is the best style? Which style fits you best? Are you practicing one or a few of the leadership styles discussed? Let's save that for later. Well, I would like to share these personal insights into specific leadership styles. So, transformational and charismatic leaders are good at inspiring and motivating followers, but can be overly reliant on their personality. We have transactional and pace setting leaders excel at getting results and maintaining order, but may stifle or hinder creativity. Moreover, we have autocratic leaders who can make quick decisions in crisis but risk demotivating their teams. For laissez-faire leaders, they can empower skilled teams but they can lead to disorganization if not managed carefully. Also, Democratic leaders foster collaboration but may struggle with quick decision making, while servant leaders create strong team cultures but may find it difficult to make tough calls or decisions. Let's have now the leadership traits and leaders' behaviors. For this, I consulted the works of John Calvin Maxwell for this. Who is he? John Calvin Maxwell is an American author, speaker, and pastor who is widely recognized as an expert on leadership. His expertise is on leadership development, and he is known for being the author of multiple best selling books on leadership, including the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership and the 21 Indispensable Qualities of a Leader. Moreover, he is often referred to as the country's, which is the US, the number one leadership authority, identified as the most popular leadership experts in the world. His activities: he's a public speaker, a coach, and the founder of the John Maxwell Company and Equip organization focused on leadership training. To dig deeper into Maxwell's works on leadership, let's discuss the five levels of leadership. We have first the position or rights, permission, focusing on relationship. Third is production, oriented on results. Fourth is people development, which is about reproduction. And lastly, the highest, pinnacle, which is about respect. Let's tackle them one by one. Let's start with level one, the position. It is influence based slowly on job title and authority. People follow you because they have to and not because they want to. You have if you are in the level 1, which is position, you have limited effectiveness and relies on rules and control. Anyone can be appointed to a position, but not everyone can be a leader. Level 2, permission. He earned through building relationships and trust. People follow because they like and respect the leader. Next, positive and encouraging environment fosters collaboration and requires effort to get to know people and understand their needs. For level 3, which is production, it is achieved through results and getting things done. People follow because the leader delivers success and achieve goals. The leader focuses on productivity and efficiency, which motivates and inspires the followers. The leaders at this level are action oriented and results driven. Now we are getting higher. We have the fourth level, which is people development. Leaders invest in their followers, helping them grow and become leaders themselves. People follow because the leader helps them reach their full potential, hence, people development. It creates a ripple effect of leadership within the organization, and it focuses on mentorship, coaching, and empowering others. Next is the pinnacle, which is the peak or the highest one. It is the rarest level, requiring exceptional talent and vision. Leaders develop other level 4, but level 5, it creates lasting legacy. People follow because of who the leader is and what they represent. It transcend their position and organization, inspiring long-term loyalty. Essentially, leaders must progress through each level sequentially, building upon the previous one. Each level adds a new dimension of the influence and effectiveness. But level 5 leadership has the most significant and lasting impact. We have to remember that effective leadership is about building relationships, achieving results, and developing others. For true influence comes not from the title, but from the trust, respect, and commitment to people's growth. So that's it for the 5 levels of leadership by John C. Maxwell. Let's now go to one of my one of the best parts of this report, which is about the indispensable qualities of a leader. Let's run through the Maxwell's indispensable qualities of a leader one by one. Number one is character. Be a piece of rock. Leaders with strong character are honest, ethical, and have integrity. They are the foundation upon which trust and respect are built. Number two is charisma. The first impression can seal the deal. Charisma is not just about physical appearance, but about having a magnetic personality that inspires and motivates others. Number three is commitment. It separates doers from dreamers. Leaders are dedicated to a cause or organization and are willing to put in the hard work to achieve success. Next is communication. Without it, you travel alone. Effective communication is essential for leaders to share their vision, inspire their team, and build trust. Next is competence. If you build it, they will come. Leaders need to have the skills and knowledge necessary to lead. They must be competent in their field and understand the challenges their team faces. Next quality is courage. One person with courage is a majority. Leaders need courage to make tough decisions, take risks, and stand up for what they believe in. Next one is discernment. Put an end to unsolved mysteries. Discernment is the ability to make wise choices and judgments. Leaders need to be able to see through problems and choose the best course of action. Next one is focus. The sharper it is, the sharper you are. Leaders need to be able to focus on their priorities and not get bogged down by distractions. Next is generosity. Your candle loses nothing when it lights another. Leaders who are generous are willing to share their time, resources, and knowledge with others. Next one is initiative. You won't leave home without it. Leaders take initiative and are proactive in solving problems and moving forward. Next one, and I think one of the best, is listening. To connect with their hearts, use your ears. Leaders need to be good listeners who are able to understand the needs and concerns of their followers. Next is passion. Take this life and love it. Leaders who are passionate are enthusiastic and excited about their work. This passion is contagious and can motivate others. Next one is having positive attitude. People gravitate to a positive leader. Leaders with a positive attitude focus on the bright side and believe in the potential of their team. Next one is being a problem solver. Problem solving. Find a way or make one. Leaders need to be able to identify problems, analyze them, and develop solutions. Next is relationships. Without relationships, you have an audience, not a team. Leaders build strong relationships with their followers based on trust and respect. Next one is responsibility. Whatever happens, take responsibility. Leaders take responsibility for their actions and the actions of their team. Next is security. Insecurity makes a leader weak. Leaders who are secure are confident in themselves and their abilities. Next one is self discipline, the leader who follows his own orders. Leaders need to be disciplined and have the self control to do what they need to do what they know needs to be done. Next one is servanthood. A leader is the one who serves. Leaders put the needs of their followers before their own. Next one is teachability. A learner today, a leader tomorrow. Leaders are always open to learning and growing. Lastly is vision. A leader casts a shadow before him. Leaders have a clear vision for the future and can communicate that vision to their followers. So, in a nutshell, true leadership isn't just about skills or knowledge. It's about good character first, which allows you to build the other 20 qualities needed to be a great leader. To end my presentation, allow me to read this quote from Maxwell himself. The true leader serves people, serves their best interests, and in so doing will not always be popular, may not always impress. Once again, here's my comprehension questions. I am Ria-Flor Vivaldos for the topic Decision Making as an Organizational Process and Leadership for the subject Educ 603 Organizational Behavior Analysis. Thank you for your indulgence.